On behalf of College Promise and in partnership with the Kresge Foundation, we are truly honored to be part of this special announcement. I'd now like to introduce Dr. Ed Smith, Program Officer at the Kresge Foundation. Ed joined Kresge in 2019 after 10 years in education policy research. Previously, he held positions at the W.E. Upjohn Institute for Employment Research, NASPA's Research and Policy Institute, and the Institute for Higher Education Policy. So let's hear from Ed.
Thank you, Dr. Cantor. On behalf of the Kresge Foundation, I'd like to extend our appreciation to College Promise and all the organizers of the Careers Institute for holding space in today's agenda to share this exciting announcement. In a relatively short span of time, College Promise programs have proliferated, expanding from 53 in 2015 to nearly 350 local and statewide programs, serving nearly 500,000 students today. As these programs continue to emerge as a strategy to make college more inclusive and affordable, there is a need to ensure post-secondary education pathways are dynamic, equitable, and responsive to the aspirations of students, families, and communities. In my own research, I've encouraged city and state leaders to root their Promise programs in community assets and regional needs. Like many of you, I've held the desire for national resources to eventually arrive, helping the movement grow and evolve from there. CoPro 2.0, College Promise 2.0, is an initiative launched by the Kresge Foundation aimed at shaping Promise programs that are equity-driven, sustainable, and integrated into local economic development. In funding these 11 projects, we aim to identify, support, and disseminate targeted approaches that education leaders can use to catalyze improvements in student success and make free college programs more equitable and effective. We're excited to have Martha, Rosie, and the College Promise team join us on this journey as the initiative's managing partner. College Promise, in collaboration with Kresge, will support the implementation of this initiative, facilitate learning exchanges, and disseminate insights that decision makers can use to inform policies and program improvement. I'm happy to share, after several rounds of review and deliberation, we're proud to welcome these 11 organizations into the CoPro 2.0 cohort. The Bipartisan Policy Center, Detroit Regional Chamber Foundation, Growing Inland Achievement, HOPE Toledo, the Institute for College Access and Success, Richmond Promise, Rise Education, a partnership between SHIO and NCSL, Tennessee College Access and Success Network, the W.E. Upjohn Institute for Employment Research, and WestEd. I'd like to extend my sincere congratulations. I look forward to working with you. We're inspired by your commitment to making post-secondary education pathways vibrant and more inclusive. I invite you all to take a moment to celebrate this accomplishment and encourage everyone on the platform to join in the commemoration. We'll now hear from our grantee partner, at least one of them, Reverend John C. Jones, President of HOPE Toledo.
Thanks, Ed. And a special thanks to Dr. Cantor and to the entire College Promise Network on the launching of this campaign and this institute here for the second year in a row. At HOPE Toledo, our mission is to support and ensure high quality education from birth to career. That's pre-K, post-secondary, and trade school. We do so to create generational economic change that will benefit our community and our families. This journey began with a few community-minded people with a desire to change the discussion around educating our young people. Folks like our mayor, Randy Oster, president of ProMedica, our school superintendents of Toledo Public Schools and Washington local schools, our local community foundation, the United Way, and it could not have been done without Pete Cadence and the Cadence Family Foundation out of Chicago, who's also a homegrown guy here in Toledo. That is supporting our students and our young people, which starts at our earliest years with our earliest learners in the pre-K area, as well as those students that are pursuing careers in post-secondary education. Today is another step in that journey. So on behalf of our board of directors, who is chaired by Wendy Huntley, on behalf of our partners and supporters across this entire community here in Toledo, and on behalf of our constituents, which is the main players in this mix, and that is our HOPE Toledo scholars, both parents and students, we really want to thank the Kresge Foundation. So Mr. Moses, Dr. Smith, thank you so much and your entire CoPro team for a really seamless process as we've walked through it. Your vision and innovation with this CoPro College Promise initiative is really steps in the right direction, and we are excited to be a part of this. With this funding, we will be able to expand our 2-generational college promise work here in Toledo. We will be able to position a community and family navigator, which we know how important those wraparound services are. And we will also be able to bring together collaborative partners to the table to continue to talk how will we refine and redesign our systems here locally to ensure that our students, which is the main focus, get the supports that they need to be wildly successful and ultimately contributors to our economic growth and development. Let me be real clear. I believe I speak for all of my fellow colleagues and grantees in saying this opportunity will help us to create the transformational change that is needed for our young people and their families now more than ever. In closing, the work is only beginning. So I encourage my colleagues that are on this call today, those of us that are fortunate to be a part of this initial cohort of grantees, but also to the myriad of partners and supporters and funders all across this country. I encourage you to keep doing the work, keep the promise. Yes, there's a pandemic among us, but keep the promise. Yes, the resources are challenging, but keep the promise. Students may fail, but more of them are going to succeed. Please keep the promise. Thank you, Kresge. Thank you for the work. We look forward to partnering with you over the coming years.
We appreciate that, Reverend Jones. Thank you, and we look forward to supporting your work. Next, I would like to ask my colleague, Bill Moses, Managing Director of the Kresge Foundation's education program, to say a few words before we conclude.
Thanks, Ed, and thank you too to Martha and Reverend Jones. Most importantly, to the cohort and the College Promise team, congratulations. I cannot wait to see all the impactful work that you'll be doing as part of this effort. This year, Kresge worked deliberately to support equity-driven efforts to respond to the challenges students, institutions, and cities are facing, everything from a global pandemic and remote education to a shifting political landscape. We are at a unique time in history. Like our forebears more than a century ago, we've learned that the level of education a person needs to flourish in our society is changing. In the late 19th and early 20th century, our nation's leaders said we needed free and universal high school education to prepare our people and nation for the future. Today, Americans need free and universal community college to prepare for the future. As Ed has already thoughtfully noted, the call for free community college has come a long way in just 5 years. Building on the leadership of hundreds of mayors and governors from both parties and from across the country, the Biden-Harris administration has signaled its support for free community college too. But as we make community college free for all, we want to build programs that work. In particular, we want to ensure that everyone, especially non-traditional students and students from historically underrepresented communities, have access to an affordable post-secondary education. We want to fulfill the promise in college promise programs. Today's announcement will be valuable in supporting innovation, expanding best practices, and filling gaps. We hope CoPro 2 can make this movement more effective, sustainable, and equitable for future generations of students. Again, congratulations to the cohort, and thank you, College Promise, for hosting this exciting announcement. For everyone joining virtually, please visit kresge.org to read the full press release and learn more about the initiative. Thank you so much.